Hey guys, it's GoldenSteelTV here. It's been several years since I last did the Roblox Minigames video, and now I'll be getting back. Now I'm getting back to this game just because on camera, just because I felt like it. Alright, as I'll be playing the minigames in this video, there's so much to talk about in both the NFL and NBA, and one big announcement that I want to start off the video with, as the mini game I'm gonna play is about to start. Alright. So first and foremost, let's start off with a big announcement, and it's good news about my channel. Yeah, well, let's just say it's good news regarding the old videos I used to do for my channel. Alright. The good news is the WeatherStar 4000 emulator finally has the radar working again. I told you guys about that in the previous video. That I got told that a new update was coming with the radar finally working. And now the update has finally come. After testing went well, the guy that runs and develops this, and the guy that operates the emulator and is responsible for its development, decided to release the update to the public early. As a result of tests going well, and now the radar is finally working again. Alright, got the W to start off this video. And now everybody's finally getting the taste of a working radar on the emulator for the first time in years. And that also means the local forecast videos are coming back to this channel. When that will be, I don't know, but hopefully soon. A lot has changed since I last did one years ago. But what hasn't changed is my excitement to finally get back to doing local forecast videos again. I know you guys have been waiting so long for the local forecast videos to come back, but I will do one soon. Now that the radar is working, I'm happy that the update finally came early, and then I'll get back to doing local forecast videos soon. So keep your eyes peeled for any new for the new local forecast video that will drop soon. More of those videos will also come out in the future. All right, got another W. Sorry, I had to clear my voice. Alright, got another W. 2 straight W's to start off this video. How nice is that? Alright, so that's everything about the big announcement about the WeatherStar 4000 emulator getting updated. Now it's time to move on to sports. Alright, let's talk about the NFL draft first. The 2025 NFL draft began with Cam Ward, a quarterback out of Miami, getting drafted by the Tennessee Titans first overall, replacing Will Levis at the QB position. Will Levis was drafted in the second round 2 years ago, but when he played, he sucked. So the Titans decided to So the Titans decided to go get Cam Ward to replace him. Alright, we'll have to see how Cam Ward does as the Titans QB moving forward. Alright, I'm about to get launched into a I'm about to get launched from a cannon. Here we go. Alright, got it. Alright. In a surprising move, the Browns traded their second pick to the Jaguars, who used it in exchange for a fifth pick. The Jags used the second pick to draft Travis Hunter, a receiver and cornerback out of Colorado. Unlike most prospects from the draft, Hunter plays two positions at both at receiver and cornerback, and we might see him play. We might see him continue to play those two. We might see him continue to play those two positions now that he's in the league. Alright. He was also a Heisman Trophy winner from adding to his resume. We'll have to see how Travis Hunter does on the field as both a receiver and cornerback. Alright. The Giants drafted Abdul Carter, a defensive end out of Penn State. Yeah, the Giants it was the Giants that drafted him. The Raiders drafted Ashton, running back sensation, Ashton Jeanty out of Boise State. The Bears surprised everyone by drafting Colston Loveland, a tight end out of Michigan. I was surprised too, because I thought they were gonna draft a defensive player, and there were also mock drafts that had them drafting Tyler Warren, a tight end out of Penn State. Tyler Warren was drafted by the Colts later on in the draft. But yeah, it was surprising to see the Bears draft Loveland out of Michigan. We'll have to see how he does for the Bears. Only time will tell. Alright. The Packers drafted a receiver in the first round for the first time since 2002 by taking Matthew Golden out of Texas, and we've had other QBs taken in the later rounds of the draft, such as Tyler Show. Hope I pronounced this last name right. Out of Louisville. He was taken by the Saints. The Seahawks took Jalen Milroe a quarterback out of Alabama. The Browns took Dylan Gabriel out of Oregon, the first of the two quarterbacks they drafted, and later on in the draft. They also took the second quarterback the Browns took was Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado. Many people initially thought that Shedeur Sanders would go in the first round, but he slipped. He fell so hard in the draft, and he and he ended up getting picked in the 5th round. Why did he fall? Why did he fall in the draft? Well, apparently the teams, the his interviews with the 32 with the 32 teams didn't go too well, as they thought he came off as arrogant and entitled. So they decided, nah, not this guy. But the Browns happily took on Shedeur, and that was what happened. All right. So those were the and the Giants also drafted Jackson. Oh, forgot to mention him. The Giants also took Jackson Dart, a quarterback out of Ole Miss. The Giants. Yeah, they've had some history with Ole Miss quarterbacks, including Eli Manning. Their fetish for Ole Miss quarterbacks never ends, I guess. All right, so those were some of the draft picks that I wanted to mention and talk about briefly. But that's not all about the 2025 draft, because there was an incident where several players received prank calls from teams bamboozling them into thinking they were into thinking they were going to draft these guys. Shedeur Sanders was one of the guys that got pranked. As Shedeur was waiting to get drafted, he received a prank call from the Falcons, and he also received a prank call from the Saints. And it turned out that the son of recently hired Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, Jats, was the one behind the prank call. And apparently, it's been said that Jats came across Shedeur's number as he and his dad were watching the draft go by, and Jats took advantage of that discovery by using Shedeur's number to prank him into getting drafted by the Falcons. Obviously he didn't get drafted by the Falcons, as he got drafted by the Browns instead, but that incident caused some controversy, needless to say. Jats was forced to apologize for the incident. His father Jeff Ulbrich and the Falcons organization have have since been fined for it. That's not all though. Shedeur Sanders wasn't the only draft prospect that received a prank phone call. Several other players also received prank phone calls during the draft. And but Shedeur was the biggest victim of that controversy. Right, so yeah. So that's everything about the 2025 NFL Draft. Now let's move on to the NBA first round. All right, the Cavs swept the Heat in. The Cavs swept the Heat. The Heat won the play-in with a losing record, and so it was no surprise that they were done after 4 games. They had no chance, and they were done for pretty much immediately. Right. The Pacers defeated the Bucks in 5 games in a gentleman's sweep. Alright, I'm about to get launched from a cannon again. Alright. The series. The Bucks were once again plagued with injuries, particularly to Damian Lillard and a Doc Rivers choke in the final minutes of Game 5. But what happened to Damian Lillard? He had a blood clot that caused him to miss the rest of the regular season, and he came back in Game 2, but not even 2 games later, Lillard tore his Achilles, and that was it for the Bucks after that. It was also sad to see because that guy just came back from a blood clot, and then not even 2 games later, he tore his Achilles. That's sad when you think about it. And that's not the saddest part of all this. The saddest part is that he's expected to be out for the entire 2025 to 26 season. And when he comes back, he won't be the same player he once was, given his age. I think he's around 33 or 34 or something. But given his age, he won't come back as the same player. Most likely. It's sad to see, honestly. It's just sad to see. It's just sad. The injury was just sad. Right. Right, so yeah, the Bucks were done for in 5 games. And that was it. The Knicks beat the Pistons in 6 games. The Pistons got their first playoff win since 2008. They won their first playoff. They last won the playoff game in 2008. And even though they lost the series, the Pistons finally have a brighter future ahead of them after after an embarrassing after after last season's embarrassment of having the worst record in the league. And now things are looking brighter for them for the first time in years. All right, the Celtics beat the Magic in 5 games. Nothing else to say about that series. Moving on. The Thunder swept the Grizzlies after Taylor Jenkins got fired towards the end of the season, and then Ja Morant got injured. That's just it was over for the Grizzlies after that, and they were done in 4 games. The Grizzlies stood no chance against the Thunder. Alright, moving on now. The Nuggets beat the Clippers in 7 games. The Game 7, James Harden came back to haunt the Clippers as he underwhelmed in the critical games in the do or die Game 7. James Harden is known for disappearing in Game 7s and in the playoffs as a whole. And the Clippers were gone in 7 games. And the Nuggets move on. Despite being without Michael Malone, their coach, and Calvin Booth, the GM, both of whom got fired towards the end of the season, the Nuggets were able to advance to the second round. And yeah, the Wolves beat the Lakers in 5 games. The series loss has also caused some questions to be raised about LeBron's future. He's expressed uncertainty about his future. He still has. I think he could play 1 more year, but with him expressing uncertainty at his future, I don't know though. But we'll have to see. But if this is the end for if this is the end of if this is really the end, then what a legendary career he had. All right. The Warriors beat the Rockets in 7 games. The Warriors continue to own the Rockets in the playoffs during the Steph Curry era. Every time the Warriors face the Rockets in the playoffs in the Steph Curry era, the Rockets are instantly done for, and the Warriors move on. It's the same old story, and it continues in this year's playoffs. All right, so that's everything about the NBA first round. The conference semifinals will be Cavs versus Pacers, Knicks versus Celtics, Thunder versus Nuggets, and Wolves versus Warriors. So that's everything about the NBA playoffs to talk about. And also, there's more NBA news that I want to talk about, but I'll save it for the Nets video or so. There's a lot, including one NBA news headline that's big to talk about. but I'll save it for the next video or so. Alright, no more sports talk for the rest of the video. Let's keep playing. Right. I've been struggling in those mini games as I was yapping, but I'm trying so hard to win. But my efforts haven't been good enough. But I'll keep on trying. Alright. Come on. I'm trying to win. Oh, damn it. I was so close. So close. Yeah, I was so close. Could have been one of those winners, but it's okay. Alright. I think the next minigame will be the last one for this video. Right. Let's see if we can win this one before. Let's see if I can win this one before I go. Before I sign off. All right. All right. Wait, come on. I'm trying to win this off. Oh man. Oh well. But that's it for the rest of the video now. So, as always, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.